Yo, what's going on, guys? Recently, you all know it, Mayhem 2.0 came into the game, and there has been lots and lots of community feedback, community criticism. Even I posted a video about Mayhem 2.0 and the state of the game and whatnot. And yeah, Gearbox responded. So Gearbox today put out an entire post on their overall timeline, what they plan to do to the game over the next couple patches, and all of the above. Today, I will be reading that to you guys, and we will be reacting to it and discussing what they said afterwards. So let's get straight into it. Now, like I said, they released this kind of blog post called Dev Update Fine-Tuning Mayhem 2.0. On April 30th, we released an update to Mayhem mode in Borderlands 3. Since then, we've received a ton of feedback about the changes made in the patch. We want to give the greater community an idea of how we will be addressing the community concerns we've seen thus far. Our intention for Mayhem 2.0 was to provide a significant difficulty for those looking to create and test their most powerful Vault Hunter builds, while also providing everyone a more engaging, dynamic, and fun endgame. Players experience Mayhem levels as a slider, so they can move up and down between difficulties. Also, by incorporating the combination of modifiers, you can find the level you enjoy the most. Did you get that perfect roll on a piece of gear? Then move the slider up and put your new gear to the test. Or do you need a night off and just want to blow stuff up? Move the slider back down and enjoy the mayhem. That said, we built Mayhem 2.0 with longevity in mind. We don't expect everyone to slip into Mayhem 10 immediately. As we introduce more content, levels, and gear into the game, more people might find themselves comfortable at that level over time. Concerns over Mayhem difficulty, gear balancing, scaled damage sources, and build diversity are among the concerns we've heard the most often. We're going to be addressing these and more over 2 phases and roll them out with the next 2 patches. This is to ensure that the changes match our expectations in testing before you experience them. There are always unforeseen challenges when working on patches and hotfixes, so we will keep players posted on more concrete release timings as these updates continue to progress. Here's a look at some of the things we'll implement. Phase 1, Stat, Scaling, and Gear. Phase 1 focuses on the feedback we received about Mayhem level, stat scaling, and gear changes. We will make these changes at the same time to complement each other. With the upcoming Guardian theme takedown, we will lower the health, armor, and shield stat bonuses that enemies receive in the higher levels of Mayhem. We'll also adjust over and underperforming gear so that more gear is viable and balanced with the new lowered stat bonuses found in Mayhem level 7s and above. Certain underperforming anointments will also see a buff with this change. This phase will also introduce a way to see which Mayhem level your weapons and gear came from. In the item card, you will see a line that reads Mayhem level and then the corresponding number for Mayhem level where it dropped. You'll see this text in the same area where anointment descriptions are. So that's phase 1. Phase 2, character balancing and build diversity. Phase 2 focuses on feedback concerning character balance and build diversity. The goal of this phase is to give players the ability to create viable builds using their Vault Hunter's signature action skills that simply didn't deliver enough power in the past. We are building a foundation from which the community can create new builds centered around gear or action skills. In this phase, we will scale non-weapon sources of damage with Mayhem levels. This includes action skill damage, pets and Iron Bear, melee, slam, slide damage, vehicle damage. Grenade mods will also now drop as pieces of Mayhem gear and have bonus damage for each level of Mayhem, just like weapons. To give your action skills a bigger boost, we will also add skill damage to class mods in this phase. These class mods will introduce powerful bonuses to action skills that will help with new builds and achieve the goal of letting you choose how you want to play your characters. We know the community will find the builds that do the most damage, but we anticipate a greater amount of builds made and played for fun after we make these changes. Additionally, we will look at all anointments to enable a more even playing field between all of them. There is also the concern that chests and vending machines in Mayhem mode do not currently spawn gear for that level of Mayhem. This will be corrected in the second phase. As it currently stands, we don't have the ability to change it right this moment. We are in the process of creating data for this new functionality to work, and we will need the time to test it along with all the other changes. Next, performance and stability. We continue to prioritize game performance and stability. Our first step was identifying mayhem modifiers that players reported as causing the most issues, then removing them via hotfixes until a later date. Since then, reports of stability issues have significantly decreased. The changes that we'll make in these two phases will contain various mayhem mode optimizations and restore previously disabled modifiers. Next, quality of life changes. Unrelated to mayhem mode, we are also testing some quality of life enhancements. Fight for Your Life will receive the improvements we highlighted on a previous Borderlands shows. Coming in the next patch, a player's movement will slow while they are being revived, and the interactive radius around the down player will increase to prevent them from accidentally running away from their saviors. We also will implement a particle system to indicate more clearly when a player is being revived, along with the new functionality so that multiple players will be able to speed up the reviving process by all coming to a down player's aid. Common feedback we also receive is for named enemies to have their own drops. We are looking at making these changes and spreading out the loot pool in a future patch. This will coincide with an increase to the drop rate for dedicated loot. And finally, we want to ensure players have a use for all the iridium they've collected throughout the galaxy. The veteran rewards machine will receive a shipment of mission-specific rewards that players can redeem once a mission ends. In addition, you'll have a good reason to pull out the Iridian Fabricator, dust it off, and start shooting out weapons with your gun. We're considering ways to increase the rate of legendaries that the Iridian Fabricator can shoot out at the expense of more Iridian for each trigger pull. And finally, the future. Community feedback is vital to us. Thanks for letting us know what you like and where we can improve. We read and see all the messages. Consider all the above just another step in our continual commitment to you and the quality of life improvements we're bringing to Borderlands 3. We are excited to share even more planned changes and glimpses of all the content still to come. And there it is, guys. That is the Gearbox's response to all of our criticisms about Mayhem 2.0. And let's talk about this real quick. Guys, I want to highlight that last section where they said, we read and see all the messages. This game and the devs and the community, this is a very community-driven game. They actually changed the game based on our feedback, and based on our bug reports. So guys, if you have feedback to this game, you want something different, please post on the Gearbox forums. If you find a bug in this game, please report it. I will put a link down below for bug reports. This is a very community-driven game, and that is what I actually love about Gearbox. And I am so glad they actually listened to our feedback on improving the game. So with that being said, and that out of the way, let's talk about what they highlighted and what you can expect over the next two phases. And there was some amazing stuff in there. I know you guys wanted me to stop and go over it, but that's what we're going to do right now. So basically what they said is they are going to release phase 1 and phase 2. This will be over the next two patches. Phase 1 will come this month with the Guardian Takedown. There is supposed to be a patch. It should be probably next week or the week after. This is going to give us the Guardian Takedown. Not only that, this is going to release phase 1. And in phase 1, they are going to adjust basically kind of the meta. They're going to adjust all of the weapons. They're going to adjust the Mayhem Scaling as well. So when they say the Mayhem Scaling, they mean the 12,500% health, armor, and shields up at Mayhem 10. They're basically going to be lowering this and then adjusting the overperforming weapons to match this. And then they are going to buff underperforming weapons, which is great. So just like a couple weeks ago when we saw a bunch of buffs in Mayhem 4, you can expect something similar this time now too. And that will be phase 1. They're also going to add Mayhem levels to the item cards, which is just great. And yeah, let's mention that real quick. And so yeah, that is what we're going to see this month with the Guardian Takedown. And that is pretty awesome to me. Next, they talked about phase 2, which is character balancing and build diversity. Guys, this is going to address all of our issues with Iron Bear, hopefully with Flex Pets, hopefully Zane's Digiclone. I really hope we get a clone class mod. And speaking of class mods, they said They are adding skill damage to class mods in this phase. So I'm pretty sure we are getting new class mods that are centered around our character's action skills. So maybe we get an awesome phase cast and slam damage for Amara. And like I said, Zane's Digiclone. I know Flax Pets and Moses Iron Bear, but I feel like we don't mention Zane's clone and Amara's phase slam damage enough because both of those things on those characters are also underperforming. Along with phase 2, they're going to take a look at all of the anointments in the game and buff the underperforming ones. So one main thing I can think of is Mo's auto bear anointments. Auto bear anointments do not have much love. And yeah, hopefully they look at a bunch of stuff like that. So they're just going to be making more ways to play the game. And that is like what I ultimately asked for. On top of that, they will be buffing grenades. We will actually have Mayhem grenades. So a Mayhem 10 grenade will do more damage than a Mayhem 0 version. And hopefully this can create some grenade builds as well. And then the last thing they talked about in phase 2 is the chests and vending machines not scaling. And those will hopefully be fixed in phase 2. So that is kind of what you guys can expect over the next 2 months and the next 2 patches. On top of that, they mentioned all of the performance updates they're going to be enabling and the quality of life changes. And guys, in my opinion, my overall reaction to this post is I am very, very happy about it. I wasn't sure what we can expect in the hotfix changes tomorrow, because keep in mind there is a hotfix usually every Thursday. But I personally wanted them to address a lot of this stuff very soon, even though I know they can't fix it. So this post made me very happy to read today, and I'm very happy to see their thoughts. I'm also very happy to see them highlight all of the community concerns. And like I said, that is one thing I love about Gearbox, is this game is driven by the community. And in this post, they seem to address almost everything. Like, I'm sure they missed like some concern somewhere, but just keep talking about it on the Gearbox forums, keep reporting any bugs you find, and hopefully they will make the game better. So overall, A+ from me. Good job, Gearbox and the devs. Thank you guys for addressing these community responses. But otherwise, I kind of just wanted to get their message to the community out there a bit more. I know a lot of you guys don't read patch notes and updates and hotfixes and stuff, but they put this out for us to read and for us to talk about in the community. And yeah, so there it is. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. If you like this video, don't forget to drop a like on it and subscribe to the channel for more Borderlands 3 videos. Otherwise, guys, like I said, let me know what you guys think about the devs and the community and all of that. I am so happy to hear this. And that is it for the video. I will see you guys in the next one. I'm out.